We'll spend the next few minutes setting up a profile in Moodle. The intention of a profile is so that students can know who you are a little bit, and also so that we can easily identify you in a list of participants or when you participate in the discussion forums. When you're in your course page, up at the top you look for your name. In this case it's my name, Kenley Neufeld, and you click on that and it takes you to the profile page. My profile is pretty much complete, but I can make changes to it at any time, and that can be done by clicking on Edit Profile. That's where you want to go to get started to add information to your profile. The items in red are required and probably are already completed by you. We'll have your name and your address and your email address and the city in which you live, and then a description. Some of the other options, these are important options to be aware of. Just taking a look at a few of them, and I want to highlight two of them in particular. The first one would be this forum auto subscribe. This is a method in which anytime you make a post to a discussion board in Moodle, by default you can ask that it subscribe you to that forum. Then anytime another message or a response is made, you will automatically get an email. You can change that at any time at the forum level, but here you can set the default. Forum tracking, I highly recommend that you mark it to yes. It makes it much easier to track new messages in the discussion boards, and it'll tell you whether or not there's a new message when you look at the screen. So I highly recommend that that's marked to yes. Again, on editing text, I would highly recommend that you use an HTML editor. Might not be available in your browser, but it does work in Firefox, and so I would highly recommend marking that as use HTML editor. And also I would recommend having the Ajax JavaScript marked to yes. Just give you a better environment in which to work in your online course. Down below you have a little description. I would ask that you always include a photo. It doesn't have to be a photo of yourself. It could be a likeness or some other image that represents you. It just makes it easier to identify students by some sort of customized photo. So you just click on the browse button here and go find a picture of yourself on the computer and click open or cancel, since I already have one, and then it just puts the little picture there for you. List of interests are things of interest to you personally, and the benefit of putting information in here, and I would recommend just you put it one term and then a comma. I will show you in a minute how that can be used. And then this section down at the bottom is where you can add things like instant message services that you use, or your phone number, or your web address if you have a website. When you're done, you just click on Update Profile, and it updates any information that you've added or changed. The area of interest are these things right here. So say I'm interested in motorcycles, I can click on motorcycles and I can find all the people in Moodle at SBCC who have also put motorcycles in as an area of interest. And so it's a good way for me to connect with other students or people who work on campus who have similar interests as I do. So for example, here's peace. Only 2 people on campus put peace. So that's how that part works. You can also use your profile area to see all the forum posts that you've ever made, and they're all just listed here in one big screen for this particular class. You can also see what type of activity you've been involved in the class. You know, when you logged in, if you've made any interactions with them, if you've looked at it, and I will use this area sometimes to see how you're participating in the class. And so if you wanted to see how you were doing, that's another way to do it. So the profile is an important tool in Moodle. I highly recommend that you complete it as much as possible, and you can find that in your course by clicking on your name at the very top of the screen.